Oh, yeah. And now, from North Platte High School Studio B, welcome to Bulldog Banter, where students, stakeholders, and alumni come together to traverse the transformative power of education. This week's episode sponsored by the North Platte Public Schools Foundation and the Flower Market.
Hi, I'm Tucker.
I'm Will.
And this is the Bulldog Banter.
We talk about stuff, talk to people about stuff, and give you the latest banter.
Bulldog style. Today's guest is Missy Hoatson from
Miss GOATson.
Hoatson. Me and Will's world history teacher. But yeah.
World history, sociology, psychology, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you grew up in Hershey, right?
I did.
How was your experience in Hershey and North Platte and surrounding areas?
Well, growing up in a small town was great. You know, you get to know a lot of people, and you just have a lot of opportunities that you may not get going to like a larger school, but then coming to a larger school and teaching in it, there's even bigger opportunities than the smaller schools that I experienced. So, but small town living, it's like all family, you know? I mean, I grew up with Will's dad. So he was...
Oh, yeah, didn't...
Yeah, he went to school with me.
Long time ago.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I remember the first day of your world history class.
Yeah, because it was me and Blake.
Yeah.
Because Brian went to school with me too.
Yeah. So
Crazy.
it is crazy.
Small world.
So where'd you go after, like, leaving? Where'd you go to college at?
I started at Kearney State when it was Kearney State. And
Whoa.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't even know that.
I know. I'm telling you. You picked
Kearney State?
one of the oldest teachers up here now. It was Kearney State, and then I left and went to UNL, and then they switched it to UNK. So I left the end of my freshman year, and then finished off at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln.
Did you like UNK or UNL better?
I liked UNL better. I think it was just like the big atmosphere in Lincoln. You know, football was a big thing back then. Well, you know, it's still kind of big.
Just a little bit.
Volleyball, they're rocking it.
Basketball.
Basketball, yeah.
I mean, they're all doing it. But UNK is just like that smaller town. Like, I think it's really good for small town kids to go there. It was that small town feel, but I just wanted something bigger, and UNL was it. So
That's kind of like what my oldest brother and my oldest sister both went to UNK, and they can only say good things, but like Eli immediately went to Lincoln, then went to Arizona. So I don't know.
yeah, because your sister was a Alpha Phi. Yeah.
At Kearney.
Yeah.
Which
Yep.
sister?
Laura.
Laura.
The oldest one.
I
Yeah.
see. What'd she study? She a nurse now, you said?
PT.
She's
or
a-
PA.
She's a
Yeah.
physician's assistant.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I do, like my son, I have a son that goes to UNK right now, but it's through UNMC. That's where he's going to grad school right now. And he loves Kearney.
Yeah. So when you went, like, graduated high school, did you know, like, right away you wanted to become a teacher? Did you study anything else, or how'd you just, like...
How did I get into
Yeah.
it? So when I went to, my intention was to be an elementary teacher. That's what I was going to study. And then just some experiences that had happened. I turned my focus to psychology and finished my degree in psychology. So that's what I have one of my degrees in. And then after that, I was just working on my master's, and boom, I decided to move back in this area and get married.
So out of college, did you go straight into teaching?
No, I didn't. I worked for a trucking company where I was making a lot of money. I was making, double what I make right now.
What'd you do there?
I was a manager for a trucking company out of Lincoln, Columbus area. So I managed it. So
Didn't know that.
yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting a psychology major to go into a trucking business.
Yeah, I mean, it just how it fell into my lap, and the pay was great. It was a stressful job.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But I also was, at the same time, also volunteering a lot of time for the Rape Spouse Abuse Crisis Center. So I did a lot of things with psychology. I just didn't finish my master's, which I wish I would have. But, things happen, and I guess that's why I'm here teaching, which I originally wanted to do, but now, after going to UNL and just the experiences, I was like, high school, I want to teach high school psychology. So
where does the history side of this come in, though?
Well, to be a psychology, you have to have a social science. So I could teach government, U.S. history. I can teach all of that, economics. How I got to teach it up here is that I was first hired at the middle school to teach world history, 6th grade at Adams, when Adams had.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
You guys have been here a long time. It was funny because Jimmy Pack was teaching psychology and sociology up here just part-time. And then he fell into the U.S. history position, and then they were like, hey, let's move Hoatson up to psychology because that's her baby. And so that's how I got up here.
Wow.
I would
And I
not
love
have
it.
guessed Pack psychology
No.
teacher.
I never knew you were at Adams before this either.
Well, I hadn't started.
Oh.
Yeah, they had hired me there, and then I get a call like late July that they made the changes.
Jeez.
Yeah. So then, and I love it. Like, I don't feel like it's a job. I love what I do. I love, interacting with all of you guys. And so, yeah,
So
I love it.
you've been here, you told me the other day, 15 years is your 15th year, right?
That's my 15th year.
What do you think the biggest thing in 15 years is, like the biggest change that you've seen in the school?
How kids are just, they're not putting in the effort. And I see that kids are coming to school. I mean, they come to school just to be loved, I think, a lot of them. But I don't think that they know, like, the values and how important it is for successfulness out later in life. And so I am just seeing a lot of, not that laziness is the word, but just lack of effort.
I can see that too.
Yeah.
That was part
Can
of
you
my.
guys see that?
In public
Definitely.
speaking, we had to do something that makes you mad or something. And one of my talking points was people not taking advantage of school and like the resources given to you.
Yeah.
Other one was people swimming on my feet. But that one is way different than. But like, yeah, I completely understand like where you're coming from because I can see a lot of kids like like the dual credit stuff, how that's all free. I feel like everybody should be taking advantage of that. And like even if you're not taking dual credit, just like the amount of resources that are given to you during high school now is just immeasurable compared to like what people are actually doing.
Yeah, and we didn't have those opportunities when I was your guys' age. We didn't have that. So, and, I think that kids were just, when there was high expectations, kids did that. Like, there was like, no, you need to turn that paper in or it's a 0, and I have students that don't turn in their paper. And, I mean, yeah, it affects their grade, but they don't care. And it just wasn't, like 15 years ago, it wasn't that way. Like you go through and look at like my grade book and the majority of people turned in their grades. Like they were, wanting to do good. And so you look at it and as we've progressed, you see a lot of red meaning missing or zeros.
Yeah.
So that makes me sad as far as that goes. But that's what I've seen and just like support, we have a lot of parent support, but then over time, I don't know if it's because parents are so busy working because in our society we have to like work so much that they don't get that support that they really, really need. And so I see that kind of to slip as we progress even further, but kids just don't care anymore. And that's what's really difficult for me, that I'm trying to be like, you have to care. You want to be successful. What are you going to do in life? And so,
Yeah. Do you think the like bar has just been lowered completely for like expectations of kids and that's why they just don't try as hard? Or do you feel like the expectations are getting too high where kids don't feel like they should try at all? If you kind of get that.
I do kind of get that. We do hold kids at, some people have like high expectations and some parents have high expectations. But you also have parents that don't have those high expectations and don't really care. Where, back in my day, it was like, the next thing out of high school was college. That's the only way that you guys are going to make any money is that you have to go to college. And more now today, I'm seeing it fall back into even prior of my time where high school was, that's all you needed. And so I see a lot of kids having that same, thinking skill where, yeah, I just have to finish high school, and maybe I don't have to finish high school. I can go, I can go online, or I can go get my, what is it, GRE?
GED.
GED. I'm thinking taking my GRE. That's
that?
It's for grad school. It's a test. Cut that out too, please. So anyway, I just see that huge change, like with like the effort, and I understand what you're saying as far as the difference between that. So I don't know. That's a hard one. So.
Another huge talking point of the podcast is school spirit. Do you think with this like lack of effort of school you're talking about, do you think that brings like bad circumstances to our school spirit as well?
I think it plays a role into it. I would love to see more school spirit here. I've seen that decline. Like I remember, and it kind of changes every year, but it really starts with like the leadership and the the organizations that are putting on Spirit Week. We need to really like bring that back, and I would really like to see like the hallways get decorated, the pods get decorated. Like we need to have more school spirit. Do I see it at some of the football games and the basketball games? Yes. You see like kids come, but we're seeing that trickle, but we need more of it in the school.
Yeah.
Just not into
like sporting events, just like more North Platte as a whole rather than a North Platte football or a North Platte basketball or just like the random blurts of school spirit. We need it more as a collective whole.
Yeah, and I think that Abby Pack, I think she's doing a tremendous job like trying to bring all of that in. She's trying to bring school spirit and, just like homecoming.
Yeah.
Homecoming, like hardly anybody dressed up this year. And then we had student council just a couple weeks ago, and you'd look down the hallway and there was nothing. So how do we get that back? We need that school spirit. That's what makes school fun. So, and it's not expensive.
That's how it plays into what you were talking about, just the lack of effort found around everybody. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we've never really had that perspective of like I don't even know how to explain that.
It's just everything affects each other. Like there's like
it's a domino effect.
Yeah, like if one part of the like spirit system or like merit system falls, like everything else will fall.
I feel like we've never had that perspective like when we asked that question.
How would you like change it? Or like how would you try and fix it, do you think?
Well, we'd have like different groups. Like you'd have a freshman group, sophomore, junior, senior, and then you are like the freshman group. They are totally responsible for a pod, and they're going to decorate it, whatever the theme is. Okay, we used to do like decorate the doors. Our Bulldog times used to decorate doors for homecoming. Well, that didn't even happen this year. So we need that and that okay to be like, hey, we can decorate this pod. Whether we come in on a Sunday evening or during Bulldog time, which would be a perfect opportunity to decorate those pods. I talk with my hands a lot. To decorate those pods or even do it by pods. Like our 2200 pod, like all of our classes get together and decorate that pod for homecoming. So I would really like to see that. How can we do that? Is that our administration needs to allow that to happen.
Yeah.
So, and maybe they've never been asked that. I don't know. But I think that would you walk into a pod and it just makes you happy. Mm-hmm. You go down to, let me just say Hershey, Sutherland. That's because that's where I went to school and that's where my kids went to school. And so their hallways are decorated like to extreme that it's fun. And it just school spirit and it just kind of connects you and brings you guys together. So
yeah,
I think North Platte High needs that.
Mm-hmm. If I were to decorate a pod, though, you know what I would get, though?
What?
Some flowers. Flowers from the flower market, particularly.
Honestly, I'd probably get them on Friday, especially like when they're $5 Fridays.
Yeah, even with like Valentine's Day coming up where you can get the roses super cheap.
That too.
Or even just spend $5 and get that $5 Friday.
On Friday.
Yeah, but if I were to decorate, I'd probably get some flowers.
I
from the
probably
farm
would too.
market.
Would you, Miss Hoatson?
Oh, absolutely, and
Oh,
that's
yeah.
where I would go to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but the school spirit standpoint of everything is just like, it's just like a big hole. Like, it's so hard to get out of, I feel like, right now. But like, if you, I'm losing my train of thought as I'm speaking it. But like, if you take small steps, it's not gonna get easier to get out of the hole.
No,
It's like,
no.
It's, you just got to get through it and you'll be out of it. Because it's just that domino effect of everything is pulling you down. But if you can get out, there's not a lot to pull you back down into the hole, I would feel like.
Yeah, I feel like it's really not that hard to decorate, like you said, a pod or
Yeah.
a door, like we
And
did.
Everybody
or
has to
dress
buy
up a
into
little
it.
goofy or
yeah.
But I feel like that's another part is people are afraid of being
I think-
judged or embarrassed.
Still,
or,
even though I think the biggest thing they're afraid of is like social media ridicule or something.
Yeah,
We don't even have
that's-
phones.
Yeah.
That's a huge part. I feel like even with your effort you were talking about earlier too, I feel like social media and just like the internet as an influence too, because like the TikTok or the Instagram or like that can influence your job standpoint. That can you can be a social media creator with a 1.2 GPA and make millions of dollars, while the person with the 4.0 GPA makes so much money.
I think that's a big thing that kind of comes off what you said about people don't try. I think a lot of people can see like these social media influencers and stuff that say, I didn't graduate high school and look at me, I'm doing great. And I think a lot of people think they can do that, but they
And then
probably can't.
The other spectrum of it, I feel like the people on social media also brag about their success. And then the people that aren't doing as well compare themselves to those people that are up way higher, doing way better in life. And I feel like that like diminishes their
Yeah.
self-respect or will
Oh, absolutely.
to go,
Social
keep
media
going.
plays
Yeah.
a huge role into that, you know, which a lot of it brings into mental health. And I think that's a big thing that, well, I probably should have said that. That's a big thing that I've seen, mental health on the rise. And I don't know if that's because we're talking about it, because, you know, we're trying to break that stigma that, you know, our mental health is just as important as our physical health. You know, it's just trying to build that wellness triangle of each individual where, you know, you work on your physical, your social, your mental, just to balance all of those out to be that better person. And over the years, you know, when I was growing up, we didn't talk about mental health. You know, you don't talk about, oh, you have to go to a counselor or a psychiatrist. And so nowadays we can see more kids talking about, oh, I have an appointment, I have to go see my counselor, which is awesome to talk about. But just this rise in mental health and, you know, becoming a teacher, I didn't think that I would have to deal with, you know, students that, you know, with trauma. You were not taught that as an educator. You know, you're taught this is what you teach, you know, and now they're bringing more into it that, you know, we do have mental health. We do have behavior. We have, you know, just not academic curriculum that we have to teach and, you know, be involved with. And so mental health has been on the rise, and social media plays a huge role, which is why I love that we don't have cell phones. You know, I didn't allow them. You guys know that. I didn't allow them in class, that I made you put them up. But that's been a huge positive change here for at least what I've seen throughout the classes. More kids are engaged. They're not worried about what their friend's doing. You know, there's less fights. So that's been a big thing. But bringing that factor in where people compare, yeah, people are comparing all the time. And then trying to change their image, you know, Snapchat filters and all that. So you see then mental health rising, comparison, you know, anxiety. So we see that, and we're seeing that even in our younger generation, like kindergarten, first grade, we have anxiety and depression already because of all of the technology that we have. And so we just need a balance, and parents need to balance those out.
Yeah, I do feel like the cell
Absolutely.
phone ban helped a lot, even with like school spirit or anything. I feel like
Yeah.
this year it's just been a lot better than last year. Just like overall in general, school spirit and all. Wouldn't you say? Just a little bit.
School spirit wise,
Yeah.
I think it's maybe. I don't know. I feel like I haven't looked at it in the perspective that you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. But in my opinion, I feel like it's gotten a little better compared to last year. Just a little bit better. Like we're on a little bit of a rise, but still, there's definitely a huge leap that needs to be taken.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and I would love to see it.
It's just
Me too.
how to take that leap and
Yeah, what do you guys
steps?
think? Like, what it should be done?
Man.
So,
Like, what would you do?
for school spirit wise, I feel like I'm involved in the school a decent amount.
Yeah.
And I feel like everybody should be involved in the school in some sort of way or capability. Like, that helps me feel connected as a community. And I feel like just the hate that's spread around this school is also a huge barrier between, because there's a lot of just like negativity. I hate this class. I hate this sport. We aren't good at this sport. I'm not going to go show up. It's just like, if we keep thinking negative upon our school and thinking this is the worst place that's ever going to exist, it's going to be the worst place you think is ever going to exist, because you're not even going to give it a chance.
Kinda like a mindset thing.
Yeah. I feel like it's just, if we can flip the mindset of like, if you're in North Platte, you're in North Platte. And I feel like we should embrace that full on, because
Absolutely.
it's not just like, it's like our town. And I don't feel like we're using it. Like, I don't know. What's your opinion?
I understand that. I feel like North Platte can be a very, very like tight-knit community, but I feel like a lot of times it's not, because people don't believe in North Platte or the school or anything. And I think definitely the first change would have to be like a mindset. It'll have to be a mindset
it's like
thing.
we're not even giving our own peers a chance to do what they want to do, or like give their own shot. Like, we're not giving ourselves a shot at becoming a better school. And when we're holding ourselves back, like, it's different when we're getting held back by administration or like other schools. But when like the students are holding each other back, that's when the issue arises of nothing being able to
when
change.
it's students versus students.
And that's
students
why
versus
I'm
yourself.
always like, change your word, changes your mindset. So we need to think more positive, and I just see a lot of negativity here. And yeah, like people, North Platte, they hear North Platte, you know, a lot of negativity goes into that. So I think that, you know, you guys being leaders in the school, that's where we need to start to bring them up. But, you know, you're always going to have negativity. And so if we can just get other people to change their words, change their mindset, be more positive, changes are going to happen. Are they going to happen overnight? No. It's going to slowly progress through it. But yeah, change is good though.
Change, yeah.
And
So-
I think you guys can do it. Like, I think it takes you two to get it going.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
that too. But changing gears, you get that. What is your favorite thing to teach right now?
Oh gosh,
It's a
I like
hard
all of
question.
them, but you know, psychology. Psychology is my baby. So, it, you know, because all of it is, but psychology changes every day. Like, it's growing. We're seeing it. I'm seeing a lot of change through breaking that stigma, which is a good thing, is that people are now talking about it. And, you know, they're working on their mental health. You know, just like I said, you need that balance. And so if I can help like students find that balance, or at least just pay attention to it, bring attention to physical, mental, social, then, you know, I felt like I've done something.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, right now I would say I love all of it. I love, you know, world history, because I love about the history of it, and sociology, but psychology I think is probably a little more dear to my heart.
I feel like when I aided for your social class, I feel like I paid attention to a lot of this stuff. I thought all of that was super interesting.
Well, it is, because it's society and it's changing, and you know, we get to talk a lot of things. Like, kids like open up and they're more free talking about themselves and what's going on, and they're very respectful, because you know, that's kind of what I start off with, is that, you know, respect is a huge thing for me in my classroom. Respect yourself, respect others, and so. And the big thing of it is with those classes is that students learn from one another, because they're feeding off of one another. And I always say in discussions that were like some of the topics, please be open-minded, just be respectful. You don't have to agree with what they believe in, you know, because we're all socialized differently. We all believe different things, but just listen, because you can grow from that. And so, you know, just being open-minded and, you know, just respectful. So
Yeah, I think I'm signed up for I'm either signed up for your social psych.
maybe you
next
should
year.
go sign up for both. Go.
I think I'm signed up for psych. I think.
I need to get a social studies
I don't
credit.
know.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I do too.
I miss world history though.
Me too. That was such a fun class.
Yeah, you guys were fun. So
That was.
What's your favorite unit to teach in world history, would you say?
I would say World War II.
That was a good unit. I was sad. I missed a lot of that because I was gone, but
It was a fun unit.
Yeah, World War
was a fun
II,
unit.
Holocaust. I did like the Renaissance though.
Oh yeah,
Renaissance
that's
is
cool
fun.
too. But we
Yeah.
do ask one question to every guest. What is your favorite piece of advice or the best piece of advice you would give to high schoolers?
To high schoolers, oh gosh, you guys, let's think about that. I would say that, don't always take yourself so serious. That, gosh, that's such a hard one because I could give so much advice. I could just sit here and tell you, but for somebody that's in high school, just work hard. Like, show your work ethic, because that's never going to come back and haunt you. That's going to help you. So show your work ethic, have fun, and enjoy the moment. Don't take everything so serious, and just work on your wellness triangle.
But yeah, thank you so much for coming
thank
on.
Well,
you.
thanks for asking me. I know that, me being one of the older teachers and the last resort. So thanks, guys.
But yeah, it was great. Thank you for coming on. But I'm Tucker.
I'm Will.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to watch Bulldog Buzz on the line, everything else. And thank you for watching the Bulldog Buzz. Thank you.
Thank you. It's not the Bulldog Buzz, it's Bulldog Banter.